we have El Chico here on the live stream saying that he supports Trump because he upholds Republican values and Democrat values are absolutely garbage, and there is a mass exodus of Democratic values or policies. Go ahead, take it away. Which Republican value does he support?
Well, I'm more concentrated in like Democrat policies are so garbage that a lot of people are leaving those Democratic policies.
Sure.
They're
Which
doing an
policies
excellent
are garbage?
all of it,
Can you give me one example?
all of it, all every policy a Democrat has spilled is garbage because Democrats have nothing they're running on anymore.
Do you
All they
think do you
run,
think the JCPOA was garbage?
yeah, it was garbage.
Do you
Like what?
think DACA was garbage?
Yeah, it was garbage.
Do you
How
think
did
no
that?
tax on tips is garbage?
How does DACA benefit the American citizen?
Do you think no tax on tips is garbage?
No tax on tips.
Yeah,
Well, who pushed for that policy?
both Democrats and Republicans.
But who actually finally pushed it through?
Both Democrats and Republicans. It was a
Well,
bipartisan issue.
who signed into it? Who signed it?
Who signed it into law?
Yeah.
Donald Trump.
Okay, so that's a
But who was
Republican
it pushed
policy.
for? No, it's not. Hold on, that's false. It was a
He
bipartisan
could have
issue.
vetoed it. He could have vetoed it.
It would have been passed under Harris either way. The no tax on tips because it was bipartisan. That's the
Well,
point
we
I'm
wouldn't
trying to
know
make here.
because Harris is not president.
No, we would know because this was the no tax on tips, no tax on overtime was introduced by a Democrat.
Was it?
Yes.
What Democrat was it? Because in order to
Uh,
introduce something, you have to have two parties, right?
yeah, it was a Democrat and a Republican. Yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Who entered? I forgot the name.
So if it wasn't for a Republican signing up on it, it would have not happened.
And if it wasn't for a Democrat either, it would never happen either, buddy.
Yeah. And then Democrats would have had an issue with that, right?
Both a Democratic senator from Texas and a Republican senator from Texas introduced.
Oh, two Texans, right?
Yeah, one Democrat, one Republican. Yes.
Well, Texas is receiving an influx of people, so I wonder why.
Receiving an
Because,
influx of people, according to who?
according to the
You just hate
IRS,
liberals. Do you think like liberals are like Marxist communists?
yeah, they have horrible policies. What policy? What policy is the Democrat Party running on right now?
Right now, we're seeing a rise in progressivism, Medicaid for all, healthcare for all, free housing.
That you
Uh,
guys been running on that for years. That's not nothing
yeah,
new.
we were running in that in 2016. Bernie
Yeah.
lost the primary, then Donald Trump won. Then
Hmm.
Biden was a moderate to save us from whatever Donald Trump caused in his first term, and then Donald Trump won again. So yes, we've had 10 years of Donald Trump, which has made it completely difficult to pass these policies. Absolutely.
Wait, so
But
you're
once we
telling
win the
me
midterms, once we made the House and the Senate, and we win
but you're not.
2028, yes, we are absolutely.
You're not going to win. What do you?
We're gonna
What do you?
we're gonna pass all the progressive legislation, the communist Marxist legislation. That's all gonna get passed.
But
You're gonna
you're
live in a communist society once we
you
win.
you understanding that the Democrat Party has been running on these same policies, and if you look at Los Angeles, California, which has the most liberal policies enacted,
Liberal, not There's a difference between liberal and progressivism.
the city still looks like shit.
Leftists hate liberals. Leftists hate liberals. Absolutely hate them. Liberals are moderate, man. Completely different.
I don't really care about like liberals, progressivism right now. It's just pretty much Democrat or Republican. Like those are the two
Because you
major
also have
parties.
you have MAGA, you have conservatives, right? MAGA is like
Is MAGA a party?
MAGA is like a traitor to the American people, right?
How are
Republican
they traitors
MAGAs,
to them? How are they traitors to them?
because they're violating the Constitution left and right.
How?
Yeah, they're violating clauses and amendments of the Constitution.
What clauses and amendments have they
Do you know what the
violated?
election clause is?
What is it? Tell
Gives
me.
the states the right to hold their state elections, as well as or Congress can intervene as well. This is in place so that the president or the executive branch does not upholds checks and balances and can't intervene with these elections that happen within the states. And then you're going to ask, how did Donald Trump violate the election clause? Sure. On January 6th, he asked Mike Pence to put Donald Trump over the Constitution. This is per Mike Pence's own word. His own attorneys
No, he
also
didn't.
argued. Do you want to bet? Mike Pence said that. How much do you want to bet?
Go ahead and say it.
How much do you want to bet money? Bet some money on it.
Did he say it under oath?
Mike Pence said, and I quote, Donald Trump asked me to put him over the Constitution. Do you agree or disagree that Mike Pence said that?
I disagree because Mike Pence could
Put
say
your
a
money
lot
where
of
your mouth
things.
is. How much money do you want to bet?
Did he say it under oath?
How much money do you want to bet that he said that?
I mean, he could say a lot of things, but
But
did
did
he
he
say
say
it
that?
under
That's the
oath?
point. That's the
He
point.
said it. Yeah.
Oh, he said it.
Okay.
Cool. So you agree?
He
Mike
said
Pence
it.
said that Donald Trump asked him to put him over the Constitution, violating the Elections Clause by certifying fake electoral slates, which is a violation of the Electors Clause. And then another clause that he violated would be the Appropriations Clause. Do you know what the Appropriations Clause is?
Okay, staying back. Let's stay on Mike Pence for a second here.
Sure.
You're
Go.
jumping all over the place. So did Mike Pence say that under oath?
No, he was not under oath.
Okay, so he's lying then, right?
No, he's not lying. This is corroborated
How
by
do you know?
because it's
How do you know he's not
corroborated.
lying?
If I can talk,
How do you
this
know
is
he's not lying?
This is corroborated by Donald Trump's own attorneys. Donald Trump's own attorneys argued that the reason he should not be held accountable for the fake electoral slates that he sent to 7 key swing states without the governor's request or permission or consent is
Doesn't need
because
it.
he did it while he was president. His
Doesn't
attorneys
need it.
argued. His attorney, yes, he. Well, hold on. According to the election clause, you need the governor's consent or request to send electoral slates to certain states. You need the request or consent of the governor. That's according to the elections clause. That is according to the Constitution.
He doesn't need to have. He doesn't need their permission to have alternate electors. Not to have
Yes,
them.
he does.
He needs permission to implement them.
Yes, he needs
Doesn't need
permission he needs permission or request from the governors. Consent or request. That's what he
replace
needs.
them. To replace them, not to have them.
To have them.
Where does this say
According
that?
to the election clause. I already told you to have them and replace them. Elections clause. You should look into the clauses that Donald Trump has violated. But his own attorneys argued that yes, he did this, but he was president, so he should have presidential immunity. So Donald Trump's own attorney's word corroborated what Mike Pence said.
Once again, did Mike Pence say it under oath?
No, but it corroborates what his attorney said.
So can people lie?
Can people lie? Sure. What is the
Okay,
reasonable? What is
Thank
the
you.
reasonable?
So-
hold on. What is the reasonable evidence that leads you to believe that Mike Pence lied?
Because he didn't say it under oath. Because if he said it under oath, then
How
I
old are
would
you?
take it with a grain of salt.
How old are you?
I'm 40.
You're 40. You're lying. I'm gonna kick you because you're lying. You're a minor. You're not saying it under oath. You have 5 seconds to say it under oath, or I kick you because you're lying. You see
I mean,
how
it's a
stupid that
fact.
sounds?
It's a fact.
You're not 40 years old, right? You're not 40.
Okay.
Yeah, you're not 40. Why'd you lie?
Who said I lied?
You didn't say it under oath. You lied.
My birth certificate says otherwise.
No, you're lying. Are you under oath right now?
Oh, so my birth certificate is lying?
Are you under oath?
So a federal document
Are you under oath?
lying.
Are you under oath right
I don't
now?
need to be under oath because I have a federal
You don't need to
document
be
that
under
says
oath.
otherwise.
You don't need to be under oath to be telling the truth or to be lying, right? So just because Mike Pence
I mean, when you're
wasn't
making
under
an
oath
allegation
doesn't mean he was
that's
lying.
criminal, you kind of do need to be under oath.
Okay. No, because Donald
No?
Trump could have sued him for defamation, and did he? No.
Why waste his time?
He
Look at Mike Pence.
He sues
Look at Mike
ABC.
Pence.
He sues everyone for defamation. He sued E. Jean Carroll for defamation and lost miserably. His thing is suing. That's his thing. Whenever he loses, that's his thing. Sue.
So is the Democrat Party. They sue all the time.
But that's a
against
pivot.
its policies.
Bidenism. That's a logical fallacy called Bidenism. Stop pivoting. Mike Pence said that.
I'm not
Donald Trump asked
pivoting.
him-
You just mentioned.
You said, what about Democrats? Democrats do the same thing. I don't care about Democrats right now. We're talking about Donald Trump, Mike Pence, and Donald Trump attorneys. They all say the same thing. Yes, he sent the fake electoral slates. Yes, he asked him to put him over the Constitution, but he was president. Therefore,
No,
he
he
should
didn't
not
say
be
that.
held accountable.
But how do you know Trump said that? You're taking his word over Trump's.
Trump's attorneys argued this in court.
They argue
yes,
that he
did.
said that. No, I'm pretty sure they argued against it.
They argued that yes, Donald Trump sent these fake electoral slates, but he should not be held accountable because he should have presidential immunity. That's what they said. That's what his attorney said. And this corroborates what Mike Pence said, where Mike Pence said that Donald Trump asked him to put him over
That
the
doesn't
Constitution.
corroborate. You're just taking
sending the fake electoral slates is a violation of the elections clause.
Well,
So
if it
Mike
was
Pence
true,
certified
then-
those electoral slates, it would have violated the Constitution. So when Mike Pence said Donald Trump asked me to put him over the Constitution, he's implying that Donald Trump asked him to certify those fake electoral slates, which would be a violation of the Constitution, which is what his attorney said.
If it were so true and it was such a violation of the Constitution, why didn't Mike Pence say it under oath?
It doesn't matter if he said it under oath or
It
not.
does matter.
No, it
it's a
doesn't.
it's a criminal allegation. It should matter.
Yes, violating the Constitution is violating the Constitution in terms of the elections clause and election interference or anything like that. Yes, he should have been held accountable. But again, his attorneys argued that he had presidential immunity.
Okay, so you're stating that Mike Pence said that Trump should do something above the Constitution and
How
side
about we
with
just
Trump.
listen to what
Yes or
Mike
no?
Pence said?
Okay, what did Mike Pence say exactly?
Perspective of the indictment, I want the American people to know that I had no right to overturn the election. And then on that day, President Trump asked me to put him over the Constitution. But I chose the Constitution, and I always will. And I really do believe that anyone who puts themselves over the Constitution should never be president of the United States. What the president maintained that day, and frankly has said over and over again over the last 2.5 years, is completely false. And it's contrary to what our Constitution and the laws of this country provide. I dismissed it out of hand, but sadly, the president was surrounded by a group of crackpot lawyers that kept telling him what his ears wanted to hear. And while I made a case to him of what I understood my oath of the Constitution to require, the president ultimately, continued to demand that I choose him over the Constitution. So in this moment, irrespective of
Donald Trump demanded that Mike Pence chose Donald Trump over the Constitution. That is according to Mike Pence. He demanded it
All right,
time and time
so
again.
what that source of audio? What is that? Is that an interview?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So are interviews? Are you able to use an interview like that in a court of law?
Are we in a court of law?
I mean, they try to prosecute Donald
Are
Trump
we in a
over
court
it.
of law?
I mean, it should be a
It's a
fact,
yes or
shouldn't
no.
it?
Are we in a court of
No,
law?
we're not.
Cool.
We're in a
So
court of opinion.
when we're debating, and when I'm presenting you evidence that Donald Trump
But that's
violated
not
the elections clause,
evidence. That's
yes,
not
it is.
evidence. It's not. That's
Yes,
just
it
some
is.
dude saying something on TV.
Some dude who do you know who Mike Pence is? Who's Mike
He's
Pence?
a garbage vice president
Former vice president to who?
to Donald Trump, and he was garbage.
Former vice president to Donald Trump on what day? January 6th, right? Mike
Yeah.
Pence was the
So
former vice president of Donald Trump on January 6th, yes?
okay. So what?
Right. So Mike Pence was a vice president when Donald Trump sent the fake electoral slates to 7 key swing states without the consent or request of the governors, right? Yes?
Did he send him or did he
Yes.
procure? He sent him.
Yes. But Mike
So
Pence
how
was the
come?
vice president, right? That day that he did that, Mike Pence was the vice president, yes?
So if Donald Trump committed
It's not
crime,
just,
why didn't
I
they
already told you
impeach?
the
Why
attorneys
didn't they?
argued that he had presidential immunity.
Why didn't they
It was a
impeach him?
presidential
You know
act.
you can impeach him, right?
We didn't have the majority. They didn't. They Republicans held the majority. Why don't they impeach him now? He killed 164 children in Iran, right? Committed war crimes, threatened genocide. Why aren't they impeaching him? Because Republicans held the
Genocide?
majority. That's
I'm
just a stupid question. That's like
I'm
saying
pretty
if Donald Trump.
sure.
Well, hold on. That's like saying if Donald Trump dropped a nuclear bomb on a random country on a random Tuesday, why didn't Republicans impeach him? That's because they're Republicans. They're not going to impeach the Republican president. Right, as soon as Democrats get in office, yes, we're gonna impeach him, absolutely, once we win. But the point is here, why didn't they do this? Why didn't they do that? That's not the point we're talking about. What we're arguing is that Donald Trump did this. I presented you with all the evidence of the case, testimony of Mike Pence, and what
That's not
the attorneys
testimony.
argued. Yes,
That's
it
not
is
Mike
testimony.
Pence. That's not testimony. That's
Yes, it
some
is.
dude, just some washed
Some
out
dude,
politician.
you
Yeah,
do realize that was the second most powerful man in the world on
and he was
January
garbage.
6th.
And he was
You
garbage.
can agree that he was the second most powerful man on January 6th, right?
Who was the first powerful man on January
Donald
6th?
Trump.
Okay, so what does
But
it
you
matter
can agree
about
that he
Mike
was the
Pence?
second most powerful. So he's not just
So what?
anyone,
He was
right?
garbage. He was
But
garbage.
he wasn't just anyone when he was saying this. He was the
Okay.
former vice president to Donald Trump.
So
So what you're
what?
arguing here is just So what? You're disingenuous.
No, just some dude said something on TV and
No,
doesn't make it
not
evidence.
some dude. Former vice president said
Okay.
this,
So
and it corroborated what his attorney said
if
and
it
what
was so
Donald Trump
true,
said.
if it was so true, he would have testified. And guess what? You know why they didn't impeach him? Because he wasn't going to testify
Because
against it.
Republicans held the majority. That's why.
No. Well,
Republicans aren't going to impeach their own president. That's stupid.
well,
That is the
if
most
Mike
ridiculous
Pence,
thing I've ever heard.
if Mike Pence was telling the truth, he would have pushed for impeachment. Would he not?
Not when Joe Biden was going to be inaugurated in what 12 days. No, That's stupid.
Why not?
It would
Why?
if Mike Pence had called for the impeachment of Donald Trump on January 6th. I wish he should have, but if he did, that would have dismantled the Republican Party. And Mike Pence isn't a genuine Republican. He is a genuine Republican who upholds Republican values. You came on here and said Donald Trump upholds Republican values. This Republican upheld the Constitution. He is a good Republican. He is a great Republican who upheld the Constitution. I don't care about his policies. He upheld the Constitution on January 6th, and he acknowledged that if he chose to impeach Donald Trump or if he pushed for impeachment, that would dismantle his party, right?
So he's putting party over the Constitution. So he doesn't
Clearly
value the
no.
Constitution.
Clearly no.
So he doesn't value the Constitution.
No,
So
he
your
didn't put
point is
party over
mute.
the Constitution.
So he put the party over the Constitution.
On January 6th, he put the Constitution over Donald Trump
So how come he didn't push for impeachment?
because Joe Biden was going to be inaugurated on January 2021.
But I mean,
you
if
do
he
realize
valued the Constitution so bad, and
also,
he
if Mike Pence called for impeachment, how many of his cabinet officials would have gotten the 25th Amendment, right? Because you need a majority
you
of his
understand
cabinet
why
officials.
you understand.
So let's
now
say,
you're
hold on,
understanding why.
You asked me a question. Let's say hypothetically, Mike Pence called for his impeachment. How many cabinet officials would have filed for the 25th Amendment, right? Because that you need most cabinet officials to remove the president via the 25th Amendment. How many Republicans in Congress would have voted yes for impeachment? How many?
You don't need that for impeachment.
Yes, for impeachment you need to go through Congress. Yes, you do.
You don't need the you don't need the
25th
cabinet.
Amendment.
You don't need the
25th
cabinet
Amendment. Yes, you do. The
or
25th
impeachment.
Amendment. There are
Or
two.
you do for the 25th Amendment. Yes, you do.
And impeachment you need Congress.
Okay, so once again, my
So
question to you is:
he did not have any movement in the Republican Party to impeach Donald Trump. Donald Trump had all the movement. His supporters went to the Capitol and threw shit on the wall and threatened to kill cops. They threatened to hang Mike Pence. Mike Pence had no movement at all. Mike Pence destroyed his career. Why? Why did he destroy his career? Because he chose the Constitution over Donald Trump. That's why he destroyed his career. No one supported him after that.
So why
he didn't violate the Constitution?
Okay.
So when you ask a disingenuous question saying why didn't he do this, it's because he literally couldn't. He was a nobody.
Yeah, you're
after
right.
January 6th because he lost all his movement because he chose to uphold the Constitution and because Republican traitors like you choose Donald Trump, a rapist P3DO, over the Constitution.
So you know why Pence didn't want to push for impeachment? Because then he'll have to testify that Donald Trump said that. And guess what? He didn't have proof of it.
It's just simply not true. I already told you why. I already told you why he couldn't push for impeachment.
That's why. Because he didn't have
What's your evidence?
That he didn't push for impeachment. If it's such an impeachable offense, and he was all about the Constitution, why didn't you agree?
Would you agree that unaliving 164 schoolgirls and threatening genocide is an impeachable offense? Is that an impeachable offense?
No.
Hold on. Threatening genocide is not an impeachable offense?
What genocide are you talking about?
I'm just asking hypothetically, if Joe Biden threatened genocide, is that a impeachable offense? Yes or no?
Conducting genocide? Yeah, it should be.
No, if Joe Biden threatened genocide.
Threatened genocide?
Yes. Would that be an impeachable offense?
Against who? Against people that scream death to America?
No, against innocent civilians. Against innocent civilians. This has nothing to do with Trump. I'm just seeing your perspective. If Joe Biden threatened genocide against innocent civilians, men, women, and children, would that be an impeachable offense?
I mean, it depends. Are these innocent women, children support the Ayatollah? Huh.
We're not talking about Iran. This is a hypothetical question.
Well, in my hypothetical,
it's not your hypothetical. It's my hypothetical. I'm the one who asked you the question.
Well, hypothetically,
yes. No. If Joe Biden threatened genocide against innocent men, women, and children, would that be an impeachable offense?
No, because they support the Ayatollah.
I'm not even talking about that. But get out of here, bro. You're saying children should die because children support the Ayatollah. What is wrong with you? Children support the Ayatollah. That is the most disingenuous and disgusting statement I've ever heard coming from a Trump supporter who came on this live stream. Fun fact, that same Trump supporter came on this live stream, and guess what he said, chat? There's 60 people over on YouTube, 40 people over here, 100 people in total. He said, quote, Donald Trump upholds Republican values. That is the first thing he came on and argued on this live stream, that he upheld Republican values.